first of all, what I'm going to talk about is a is a difficult problem, or how should I say? That is not a problem, but that is a problem, I think. But actually, so this time I'm thinking of telling you a plan, which is really a controversial one. But actually, so this is about a neighbor country of my country. Of I mean, this episode is about a neighbor country, or this is about the next door country to my country, or to the country I live in. And but actually, so by the way, I live in a advanced, or I live in a developed country in East Asia. And there's a maybe you can understand it. There's a two countries which have the same people. I mean, those two countries are located in really a close place. But actually, so that country, those two countries had been just one country. But actually, so after the World War II, that country was divided into two countries. And maybe you can understand which countries I'm talking about. And the name is, so there is the northern country, and there is the southern country in a peninsula located in East Asia. And this time is about those two countries. And which means, so I'm going to talk about an how should I say? I'm going to talk about an ethnic group. And this time, so maybe I'm sorry for my clumsy manner of speaking English language. That is because this language is not my mother tongue, and another stuff is, so I need to choose words to speak out. And because, so it's really a controversial plan. But actually, I'm so I talked with, as you know. So I have a dissociative identity disorder. It's not like that. I have called a disease name to, I have called the disease name to dissociative identity disorder. But actually, I don't have such a disorder, I think. But actually, so I talked with the dark side of mine. And I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. I'm sorry for my telling you the greeting phrase, or greeting part. Like after I have taken a lot for I have taken quite a long time, maybe. And so a few minutes have passed since the beginning of this episode. And anyway, so this is that, it's fine to check out. I'd like you to check out the description column of this episode. And I talked about this problem with the dark side of mine. And we reached a conclusion, which is a war is necessary for the unification of those two countries. And by doing which, so it's possible to protect many people on the earth. And somebody has to do, which is what I thought. And somebody has to provoke a war in that peninsula. So which is why, so I'm thinking of creating a war. And which is why, so I wrote a description column, the writing, which is, I have a plan of making a war. And I wrote this writing I'm thinking of writing this writing in the description column of this episode. And the title is, You Are Going to See a New World. And this is another type of an entertainment, I think. And as well as, this is another type of entertainment, as well as this is really this is necessary for this world, or for protecting the peaceful world in the future. And I reached a conclusion in which somebody has to provoke a huge war in that peninsula, which has already been which has been divided, or which has been for now divided into two countries, unfortunately. And the northern one is considerably a poor country, and the southern one is a rich country. But actually, so maybe the southern country is not well off today. Not only today, but actually these days, actually. Anyway, but actually, so somebody has to help that ethnic group located in that East Asian peninsula. And the name of that peninsula begins with K. And I don't have to tell you which peninsula I'm talking about. And anyway, this is really a controversial problem, and this is really a provocative problem, I think. But actually, somebody has to provoke a war for the unification of those two countries, composed of the same ethnic group, whose name begins with K. Anyway, but actually, and that peninsula is adjacent to the mainland China, and which I think some short and that peninsula is located to the south of Russian Federation. And but actually, and that country is adjacent to, or attached to, Russian Peninsula, not Russian Peninsula, but Russian Federation, and for on a short length of border. Anyway, but actually, and coming back to the original purpose of the war, somebody has to create a war. And I have a plan of making a war for the sake of the unification of those two countries, composed of the same ethnic group, or composed of the same racial group. How should I say? Anyway, those two countries in the peninsula are run by the same people. Those two countries have the same people, which is what I'm saying. Which is why somebody has to unite those two countries, and not only to protect the local people in your country, but also the local people in the United States of America, and in Canada, or in Northern American countries, and including Russian people and Chinese people. Somebody has to do that kind of dirty work. Provoking a war, or starting a war is really dirty work, or dangerous work. But actually, somebody has to do, which is what I thought. And I talked about this problem with the dark side of mine, and finally we reached a conclusion. We reached a conclusion in which, so somebody has to provoke provoke a war in that peninsula. So which is why, so I'm thinking of showing you another, or a new world, which is what you are going to see. And which is why I wrote in the title that you are going to see a new world. And the conclusion is, I have a plan of making a war. So anyway, I'm going to tell you the details in the future. I don't know whether I can tell you this plan. I can tell you stuff about this plan in the near future or in the far future. But actually, I'm on preparation, or the plan is ongoing, which is what on this time, or in this time, such a thing is what I'd like you to know this time, or what I'd like you to know in this time is that I have a plan of making a war in the peninsula in East Asia, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything. See you.